Hi there, welcome to Mo2. We are two coaches, both named Maureen, who love to offer some ideas, some tips, some conversation around some of the everyday things that can interfere with us living our fullest, our most fulfilled lives. And Maureen, we were just talking, and you brought up the concept of uncertainty. I'm curious what you're thinking.
Well, I was thinking about when the next step, well, actually the next step might be clear, but what exactly that step leads to is unclear. So, or for example, I'll just speak from a particular example. So on the weekend, I've written a book, and I've was doing a book event, and I decided that I was going to take the ferry and cycle to the event, and then I was going to stay with some people I didn't know all that well, and I was also going to do this event with two people I'd never worked with before and I never met before, and they wrote different kinds of things than I did, and so I wasn't quite sure how it all was gonna work out. So it's the concept of uncertainty around how am I going to actually achieve this thing or do this thing that is important for me, and I guess, what do I need? Like, what's the baseline that I need in order to do that? And then what's my approach to that uncertainty? So those are the things that were coming to mind.
And it makes me think, Maureen, that for many of us, we kind of like to know the end result and have this little tight string around our finger. We want to control it. We want to know what the outcome is. That kind of gives us a sense of ease or something to know. But the reality is we don't know. And so what if it's taking the little steps, like when we're driving our car and it's dark, our headlights only show us a certain amount of distance in front of us. It's the same kind of thing, and still we keep going. So how can we do that then?
Yeah, in a sense, how can we trust ourselves to go step by step with our little lights illuminating just the next step? And how can we trust ourselves as much as we trust our car to be able to make whatever adjustment we need to make at the end of that next step, so that we can reposition our headlights if that's what we need? Or are we going on the path that we want to be on and we don't need to readjust?
Yes, and so that is part of it's the awareness, paying attention, fine-tuning. I wrote down, do we come to a yield sign here? And I think that's important, actually, the yield. It's kind of like a pause and, okay, how is this going? Do I need to look for traffic? Do I need to look for obstacles? What do I need here? And so it's taking the steps. It's actually slowing down to notice and be aware of what's going on.
Yeah, in a sense, your yield signs, it's almost like you can put the yield signs in for yourself.
Yes.
And make sure that you stop at all the intersections and just take stock, take a pause, check in with yourself. How's it going? And decide that you're going to keep on going. And the other thing about making mistakes, when you're bound to make some kinds of mistakes, right? Or non-ideal decisions, and having the trust in yourself to be able to shift when you do make one of those decisions. Make sure that it's a small enough decision that you can shift, and you haven't gone through 15 intersections before you check in with yourself.
Yay. Thank you. It's that it's slowing down, paying attention. How's this going? And you might go 15 intersections and then go, holy smokes, I'm in. And it's like, this is not working for me. And so it's still okay to stop at that intersection and kind of take a breath and go, okay, which way am I going to go? And it might be just leaving whatever that was and starting a new direction.
Or it could be backing up.
Yes.
Back up all 15 blocks and go turn right instead of going straight, or whatever it is, right? Or you might go, oh, there's a different route here. If I turn right, then left, blah, 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 then I will get to a different place. And sometimes you actually know the end point that you want. Like in this particular case, is the end point that I wanted was a successful book event. And there were probably some other goals that I had, right? So I might know the end point, but it's the how that I am uncertain about.
Yes. And so there's a successful book event, for example, is what does that mean to me? So just getting a little clarity, like, what does that mean? That I show up, I'm prepared, and what can I control? What can I be open to? And so it's also recognizing those kinds of things. So there's a lot packed in here, and yet it can be really simple.
Well, and the concept of being open,
Mhm.
What does that take? And in the way that I look at that, it takes trust. It takes trust in myself that I can deal with whatever the stuff is that might be happening there. And maybe trust in some other folks as well.
Yes, and that takes us back almost to the beginning with how can we trust ourselves as much as our car to continue on? So trust.
Profound.
And yeah. So I'm just thinking, this is an awareness. It's paying attention and checking in to your own driving patterns.
Yeah, or traveling patterns. Yeah,
Traveling
absolutely.
patterns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
so if anyone has anything they'd like to share, please share it with us in either the comments or in on our website. You can contact me at maureenmayhew.com. And you, Mo?
At Caley-Verdonk.com. And if you haven't already, this is an invitation for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And until next time, have a great day and a great week.